Thank you for watching this YouTube video. And if you have any questions about it, be sure and contact us. Our email address is at the bottom of the lesson, or if you're in YouTube and do description, you'll see it at the bottom. We're at cybercochrist@gmail.com. Now, today's lesson was someone was talking about in our congregation about renewing the mind, refreshing, making things anew, that type of deal. So I go, okay, well, let's look at a few simple verses about renewing the mind. That's what's going to be on today's topic. So what do you mean by renewing the mind? To renew the mind requires, we got 3 or 4 things we're going to look at today. To renew the mind requires not conforming to the world. So that's one interesting fact there. Let's look at Romans 12:2. You'll find how to live with your fellow man in Romans 12. So that's a very important chapter for each Christian to live in this world. You look at Romans 12, how you treat people, what do you do when people do something to you? So let's look at Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world. There's a colon. Now, I'm already looking at that and go, hey, that's a commandment. Be not conformed to this world, but ye be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Let's look at that a minute. So transformed is the anonym to conformed. Okay, and I'm going to renew my mind by going, I'm going to go out to somewhere to be alone and be able to think and renew my mind. Yeah, that's what the world does. But this is addressed to us as Christians. And says, hey, got a lot of things going on in the world, a lot of confusion and people attacking me and all, especially spiritually. Plus, I have this sin daily thing I'm dealing with. Yeah. Well, you know how you're going to renew your mind? Well, what do you mean by may prove? You may prove. What is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God? What was it to do with renewing your mind? Has to do with how you're going to renew your mind. If you're a Christian, you're going to get in and study Bible. And as you're studying Bible and see what the Bible says, you would then be what? Comforted. So I'm not conforming to the world. I'm actually renewing my mind by proving. What does that have to do? Proving, what does that have to do with renewing my mind? We're right here. So are you trying something else other than the scriptures to renew your mind? We do have Bible studies, like even during midweek, and we have the lessons on Sunday and all. And some of the members, they'll go, oh, I was comforted, a lot going on, but comforted when I have Bible study, comforted when I'm just looking into the Word. So you'll find out this is true. Just try it out, and you'll know what we know, which is studying the Bible makes you very peaceful, and it does eliminate stress. So you're doing stressful things. And why is that? I was thinking about that. Well, because I'm thinking about things above. Instead of all these things that are impacting my human life here, I'm looking at, look at this plan, look at this perfect plan. What about getting judged in the end? I'm keeping those thoughts up there. Well, that's renewing my mind. Renewing, what is this all about? It's all about obeying our Father and doing his commandments. Now let's look at this next section. Renew the mind by putting off the old man. What is the old man? According to the Bible, it's not obeying the will of God before you became a Christian, got into the kingdom, and putting on the new man, which is obeying the will of God. Now, if you want to begin by putting off the old man, you would call on the name of the Lord. So you'll see a link at the bottom here on an illustrative example of the scriptures you go over to become a new person. And this man, of course, human. This is mankind. So don't think this is some kind of a generic deal where it's only the male of the species. Adam and Eve are man. Okay. And a lot of people in the world get that confused about the being all male and all. Well, it's not all male. It has to just do with pronouns. Now let's look at some more scriptures here. I'm going to look at 3 verses in Ephesians. And remember, the topic here is putting off the old man and putting on the new man. All right, Ephesians 4:22, that you put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts. Okay, so what it is, I'm trying to figure out what it is I'm putting off now. Well, look at the underline there, deceitful lusts. Okay, well, where is deceitful lust? As soon as I open my eyes and see the world, there's deceitful lust. Now, what the best thing to do is to prevent that from me having deceitful lusts. Because why? Well, I got baptized and put off the old man. I should be now be renewing my spirit. Okay, so I put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which had nothing to do with being saved in the end. And it's actually corrupt, and why it's corrupt is actually in this verse. It's according to deceitful lust. Verse 23, this is Ephesians 4:23, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. Okay, well, people will say, hey, what is the difference between soul, spirit, mind? Okay, well, that's a good question. Your mind is your thinking process. The spirit is the life that the Father gave you at birth when you took on the spirit in your human body. That's a gift from God, and actually God owns your spirit, and it will return. So if you want to look at it simply, your spirit's on loan to the earth. Okay. Then when you live your life here, short as it is, then you get judged in the end. Yeah, keep thinking of that. So I want to keep the new man in mind. I want to keep renewing the spirit of your mind. So keep that going. Keep your spirit going. Now, verse 24, in that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and holiness. Okay, so I got my definitions. I want to know what this putting off the old man and putting on the new man means. Well, in verse 22, it said the old man had something to do with deceitful lusts. And verse 24 says the new man is righteousness and true holiness. Well, how do I know what's righteous and true holiness? We have to study Bible. You have to get in and find what pleases God. What displeases God? What pleases God? Well, I have to go to the scriptures to find out. That's where the new man's located. It's speaking to the spirit in your mind. Now the soul gets judged in the end. I don't know if I finished that part off. What you have is a spirit on loan from the Father. You have a mind that's a human brain that does all the thinking. That mind stores things on the spirit. When that spirit returns, it's a soul that's going to be judged. All right. So we're on verse 24. We said we're going to put on the new man, which is after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. So I get the definitions of both. So what is this putting off the old man? I got the definition. What is putting on the new man? I got the definition. You don't always get that. This is more of a simple explanation. Now let's look at these 3 verses in Colossians. We're going to look at Colossians 3, verses 8 through 10. Colossians 3:8. But now ye also put off all these: anger. Okay, well, somebody did something to me and really made me angry. Okay, well, there's a commandment. But I mean, getting angry is kind of a natural thing. Well, yeah, or I wouldn't tell you to put it off. Okay. Now, how much of God's will are you doing while you have anger? Oh, well, actually none. I'm just mad at the guy. He cut me off on the freeway. Okay. And that's not doing God's will? No. Well, so I'm gonna list that first. So first of all, let's get rid of these. Anger, wrath. Wrath, I'm just gonna stay mad. Malice, I want to get back at the guy. Maybe I can chase him down or something, give him the what for. Blasphemy, that just says the Bible's not what the Bible claims it is. The Holy Spirit's not the Holy Spirit that communicates with heaven from our spirit to the Father through a high priest. Well, it's blasphemy. Filthy communication out of your mouth. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I couldn't help it. I had to say something because the guy made me mad. Okay, yeah, I know why. I'm just saying there's a commandment. Oh, yeah, you're supposed to put that up. Well, so you're not going to curse? Well, if I'm looking at Colossians 3:8, I better not, because it says filthy communication. And then I have a commandment that says, hey, don't do it. Put off means don't do it. Put on means do it. Verse 9, Colossians 3:9. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. Okay, so part of that old man and the deceitful lusts, there could be a lie involved there somewhere. Well, yeah, I needed to lie to get ahead. I mean, my job was on the line. Besides that, it was just a white lie. Okay, well, a white lie is not in the Bible. It's either truth or a lie. You notice when you study Bible that you either got cold or hot. There's no warm. Huh? Yeah, there's no in between. Okay, so no, there's no white lie. There's a lie or there's truth. Lie not one to another. Now, who's this? You're just talking about the people in the church in my congregation. No, I'm talking about lying not to your fellow man. Is that another human being? Yes. Okay. Well, you're not supposed to lie. I know, but I had to lie because I had to get out of the situation I was in. Okay. Well, what don't you think about this? Was that a test? Huh? Was the Father testing you to see if you're going to lie? Well, no, Satan was testing me to see if I'm going to lie. And the Father's wanting my faith to not lie because why? Because I read Colossians 3:9 and it says not to lie. Okay. Well, these are pretty simple. May not be simple to do according to if you're going to stay with lusts of the world. But if you want to be a Christian person, these are very helpful. Colossians 3:10, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. Now, who's the him? The him is human beings. Don't think that's a gender deal like I mentioned before. Actually, I mention it almost every week because it'll say man. You got to think this: Adam and Eve are man. Okay, then you're going to understand a lot more. All right, so verse 10, put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge. Oh, so that I was going to say how am I going to renew my spirit? If we're looking at getting renewed, how do I do that? Right there in knowledge. Well, where's knowledge? Knowledge is of the knowledge of the scriptures, not things of the world. You're going to be renewed by studying. So that's why when you're studying Bible and the Bible students and the guy myself, when we're studying Bible, it's all refreshing. You suddenly start feeling good. Well, why? Because it's renewed. I'm going, okay, still on the path, wanting to be saved in the end, wanting to be accounted worthy. Okay, yeah, I feel pretty good. Okay, well, let's get renewed. Remember, it's the Spirit being renewed. And the reason why is because I put on the new man and I already found out what the definition of that was. Put off all those things. And I want to follow what? Righteousness and true holiness. Okay, now how often, let's look at this next section. How often do we renew our mind in the Spirit? And the answer is actually there it says daily. So how often do we try to highlight that? Hold on, bear with me. How often do we renew our mind and spirit? And the answer is daily. Okay, well, I have a rough week for the 6 days, and then I come in on Sunday, hear some scriptures, and I kind of renew my mind. Okay, well, that's good. That's good for Sunday. But let's look at 2 Corinthians 4:15 and 16, because that's pretty interesting about renewing your mind. Okay. This is 2 Corinthians 4:15. For all things are for your sakes, and there's a comma there. What do you mean all things are for your sake? Well, I gave you a spirit. You have a human body from the male and the female that created a human body that stays on planet Earth. There's a spirit living in you that won't stay on planet Earth. It's going to return to be judged. And all things are here for you to be judged, accounted worthy in the end. You've been truly furnished. Okay, so all things are for you, for your sakes, after the comma, that the abundant grace might, through the thanksgiving of many, redound to the glory of God. And I thought I'd put redound is not really common in our vernacular, so I thought, well, I'll put the definition out there. It means excessive, more than enough. There's crammed and overfilled. Our spirit is filled. Okay. For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace. Where is this abundant grace? Are you breathing? Well, then you already experienced the grace of God. Now, the Father, does he give me what I need to be saved in the end? Actually, abundantly. He's giving you everything that you need. Okay, what is it you don't have that you need? I don't know, maybe a Cadillac or something. Okay, the deceitful lust deal. Yeah. No, he doesn't give that. That's provided by the world. And what we have is thanksgiving. That's going to have to do what? Redound to the glory of God. So every gift that we have, the precious gift from above, we need to have thanksgiving to who? What, to the glory of God. We're going to pray to our Father through our high priest. And you know what we're going to thank him for on this Thanksgiving word that you see here? Abundant grace. How much grace has the Father given you? Well, I can't even count. I mean, I'll get abundant grace all day today. And if you're breathing, you have the grace of God. He's allowing you to live. Okay, so the breath's called the breath of life. You're breathing and you're alive here on planet Earth. You've been given abundant grace. And you know what? You just might. Why is that in there? It's not automatic. That's why. Are you doing any thanksgiving to our Father? Okay. So what has to do with renewing your mind? You're going to be praying to the Father, saying, hey, look at all that you've given me. And you know what? I tried to count it, but it's abundant. Yeah. There's no way I could tell you all the blessings. I'd be here all day telling you the blessings that I've received. Because I'm going to look at the inward man and say, how are you doing? And then give thanksgiving to the Father. All right, let's finish with verse 16 of 2 Corinthians 4. For which cause, because this goes with the verse 15 about the abundant grace, for which cause we faint not. Why are you not? What is this faint? Well, that means I'm losing faith, moving away from the Father and the truth and his word and doing his commandments. So you just kind of drifted off? Yeah. Well, because faint's not drop dead. Faint is kind of a little gradual deal. And what cause will we not faint? Well, you're giving thanksgiving to the Father, and you're going to renew your mind, and you're going to be giving thanksgiving to our Father, and it's going to be great. When you study Bible, it's going to be comforting. It's comforting to know what the truth is. Okay, for which cause we faint not. This is verse 16. But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. So isn't that interesting? What do you mean the outward man perish? Well, every human being since Adam was born here on planet Earth and dies here on planet Earth. Well, I mean, it could be in a space station. Well, it still counts as planet Earth. You're either in Earth in the creation or not. And the universe is the creation. For which cause we faint not, because I'm looking at this abundant grace. But though our outward man perish, go ahead. Yeah, we know what? I've got physical ailments and I think I'm going to die someday. I already know you're going to die someday. The outward man perishes, stays. Actually, it just ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Just a human being. The body is not what gets saved in the end. The inward man. The inward man. Yeah, we mentioned soul and spirit, remember? And then your mind. Well, you don't have the human mind at Judgment Day. You know what you do have? Your spirit and your soul. And the judge, which is not me, the judge will then judge you based on what's on that soul. Was that soul ever renewed? Did you just get baptized and then forget it? Or did you never get baptized? All right, well, contact us at the Cyber Church of Christ. If you're going through a lot of stress and troubles in your life, you know what our answers are going to be? Why don't you study some scriptures? We already found out from the Bible, the renewing your mind, making you feel good, is in the Bible. It's in the Word. You study the Word. You know how many times I've studied Bible with people over the years? And they go, well, and they feel so good afterwards. Because of me? No, because of the Bible and what they read and then spoke to their spirit. And they go, wow, is that comforting? So yes, the renewing the mind. So we're the Cyber Church of Christ. And you can always contact us at cybercochrist@gmail.com for any question that you have. We also have the PDFs, and if you don't have your specific question answered, send it to us. And we'll do one-on-one Bible study or a group. It's up to you. We want you to be saved in the end. That's why do you think Cyber Church of Christ exists? Because we're wanting to save souls. And did you know that that's a commandment of the church? We're supposed to be spreading the truth and saving souls from the fire, from the lake of fire that's part of the judgment. All right, well, I hope you have a great day. Tried to make this a kind of a milk type. There's milk and meat as far as a lot of detail, but I tried to keep it simple, saying, hey, there's an inward man and an outward man. An outward man has deceitful lust. The inward man needs to be forgiven of sins, doing the Father's will, and getting renewed. How often? Day by day. So that's why we had the answer with daily. If you have stress, things going wrong in your life, have you tried this? Have you tried learning the Father's will and doing His will? You'll be surprised how good you feel. And the reason is, when I'm doing the Father's will, I'm thinking, hey, my spirit's good, my soul's good, and actually my human body feels pretty good. Because why? Well, I've been renewed. Yeah. It's like giving the automobile a service. You'll feel like new again. Exactly what happens with your mind. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. We are the Cyber Church of Christ. We believe in truth, teaching truth, doing the truth. And we're always learning, always wanting to be a better servant of our Father. And we love you and hope that you can join us someday. We'd love to have the church grow. Take these words today and be thinking about it. Boy, I'm going through a lot of stress. Try renewing your mind.